All right, YouTube, looks like we need to talk. Shalom, everybody. I am Bear of BearIndependent.com, and today in the Prepper Classroom, we're talking about pandemic. See this guy? Remember those Mr. Yuck stickers back in the day that you like put on bleach so that we wouldn't chug bleach? Because I'm not saying Darwin was right about a lot of things, but I do believe in social Darwinism. If you chug bleach, maybe you shouldn't be reproducing. Just saying. I know they were for kids, whatever. I'm an angry, evil, malcontented bastard. Have we not figured this out yet? Mr. Yuckface. Pandemic. All the caveats. First and foremost, I am not a doctor. I don't play one on YouTube. I don't pretend to be one. My medical training basically consists of how to apply Band-Aids and how to use blowout kits and how to prevent hypothermia, shock, rehydrate people, basically put you back together again so that we can get you from where you are to more skilled medical professionals, of which I am not one. Okay? Number two, this is in no way intended to be the comprehensive video about how to survive a pandemic. This is a whiteboard in the Prepper Classroom with some basic concepts that we are going to apply while exercising logic, not being emotionally spun up over things that we cannot control, and applying these concepts to our own personal situation based upon the actuality of our boots on the ground. Okay? Now we got that out of the way. That bear guy is such an idiot. Yeah, copy. Roger. First things first. Store food, water, sanitation, and meds. Now, if you're at this channel, I'm guessing you're into preparedness. If you're not, or if you're new here, hi, welcome. We talk about preparedness here. Basically, preparedness, faith, homesteading, family, pew-pew tactical things occasionally. Okay, but store food. How much food? How long do you need to remain in situ, stay put, not walk outside of your house? I'd say probably at least 6 weeks. For a lot of us, that's a joke. For some of us, we're not there yet. So I'd say at least 6 weeks worth of food, maybe 3 months. We could stay home for a couple of years. Then I might need some coffee. Store food, store water. Water's tricksy. How much water? 3 to 5 gallons per person per day. 5 gallons seems to be much more applicable than 3 gallons. I started with 3 gallons per person per day, and after deploying 6 times in 2019 with grindstoneministries.com, our charitable organization, we discovered pretty quickly it's more like 5. And that's for preparing food, hydrating, basic sanitation, like washing dishes sparingly, washing hands, and, a little sponge bath. It's like one of those commercials. I need a shower to stand underneath. One of those solar showers, that's prepared-ish, right? So about 5 gallons per person per day. If you have 5 people in your house, that's 25 gallons per day. Bear, I would never use that much. Try it. Really, try it. Get 5 5-gallon buckets, fill it up full of water, bring it into your house, turn the city water off or the well water off, and try it. It's a great way. It's a great bit of practice, and it's a great way to see what your actual consumption is. Try it, okay? 5 gallons per person per day, 25 gallons per day, family of 5. 30 days in a month, 750 gallons of water. That seems like a lot of water. It is a lot of water. Here's the thing. Most of us, the vast majority of us cannot, myself included, cannot store 750 gallons of water per month. What we can do is catch and acquire water. So you need to be thinking about that. How do I catch and or acquire water? Basic things, man. I mean, especially if you're taking care of sick people, you're gonna need to do laundry at some point. You're gonna need to wash your hands repeatedly, regularly. You're going to need to sponge bath that person, prepare food for these people, rehydrate them. You're gonna need water. And most of the emphasis, if food and water is discussed, is on food by preparedness channels. I'm here to tell you, water is vital. We have had, logistically speaking on deployments, very little issue getting food. But keeping enough water around to support a large group of people is a lot of work. Think about it. Sanitation. How many times a day can you do that right now based upon the preps that you have? Because remember, if we're worried about this, it's germs, right? Germs are yucky. Ew. Wash your hands. How many times can you wash your hands right now? Do you have 55-gallon drums full of Purell? If you do, store it away from your house because that stuff's basically napalm. But do you have bleach? Do you have pool shock? Do you have Purell? Do you have thieves oil? Do you have, toilet paper? If you gotta stay home for 3 months, and you got the food to do it and the water to do it, do you have enough butt wipe? Which, by the way, you'll thank me about this later. I've inspected a lot of bug out bags that had no toilet paper in it. Get a roll of toilet paper. It's round. Squish it flat. Put it inside a quart Ziploc bag. Put it in your bug out bag. Right now. Pause the video. Go do that. You'll thank me later. Believe me. Believe me. That's not what socks are made for. That's not why we have handkerchiefs. That's why we have toilet paper. Okay. Sanitation. Basic sanitation. And all this pandemic-y stuff comes back to basics, which is why I'm not super spun up about this. Being completely truthful, I'm not spun up at all about this. This is basic stuff, and it proves the point that basic preparedness covers a vast array of potentialities for chaos. Meds. If you are on prescription meds that you cannot live without, and I mean some people like my mom is medically dependent. She has meds that she has to take every day or she'll look like this. And we don't want her to look like this. I love you, Ma. I know you watch these, which is in of itself kind of weird. So I'll call you Tuesday, okay? Okay. But my mom has medicine she has to take. Cool. Well, if you can't leave the house for 90 days, 2 years, 6 weeks, whatever, you have to have at least that much set aside, right? And OTC meds. Now, OTC meds are going to be like your basic aspirin and, Tylenol and, acetaminophen and ibuprofen, protocol back and forth, naproxen sodium, Aleve, anti-diarrheal meds, things like that. You might want to get like Robitussin, cough drops, things of that nature, right? Just general over-the-counter medicines. Benadryl is good to have around if somebody has an allergic reaction, so forth and so on, right? What about the prescription meds? And I actually get this question repeatedly. I've addressed it before on camera, but we have now over 1,500 videos between YouTube and Patreon, so I don't expect that you have heard me say this before, although you might have. There's 2 ways that I know to do this. The first is you have a heart-to-heart with your doc. Now, I've been fortunate that wherever I go, I find a doc, and I have the type of personality where I'm like, look, I'm prepping. And I'm not prepping for the Panamanian paratroopers to smuggle a dirty bomb into my backyard and set it off and cause an EMP/localized NBC scenario right here in middle of nowhere Arklatexa, but I am prepping for things like economic collapse, food scarcity, civil unrest due to political reasons. And I envision a scenario possible, maybe not probable, but possible, where I might need more than this 30-day supply of this, doc. So what I'd like to do is have you write me a year's worth of prescriptions, generic, okay? $2 a bottle instead of $200 a bottle. And then I'd like to go pick them up from the local Walmart or, Sal's Pharmacy or whatever. And me being me, when I lay it out that way, I've not had an issue with that. I've always been able to get what I needed when I needed it. So that's one way. Another way, and I don't recommend this, but again, I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on television, YouTube, iPhone, whatever the hell you're watching this on, is to take half of the medicine you've been prescribed. I don't like that, and I'm not recommending it, but that is a way that I have seen people do it. If they're prescribed 100 milligrams once a day, they take 50 milligrams once a day, and at the end of the month, that nets them 15 days worth of meds. So, anyway. Basic, store food, water, sanitation, and medicines. As if we're not leaving the house. We're staying right here. 'Cause there's a pandemic out there. All right. You make me almost sugar. Basic preps, fire extinguisher. People hate hearing this. They're like, no, I want to know about why the 240 Lima is the best crew-served weapon currently in use throughout planet Earth by a first world nation's military. Like, who cares? It's an awesome gun, don't get me wrong, but you should have a freaking fire extinguisher near your kitchen, not necessarily in your kitchen, because if your kitchen's on fire, you don't want to have to run through the fire to get the extinguisher to put the fire out. Okay, so, and near your garage as well. Fire extinguisher, a radio, so that you can monitor the government authorized, scripted, reptilian overlord dispensation of propaganda once a day between 1400 and 1500 hours, or the NOAA weather alerts or whatever. A radio, one of those little emergency radios, or a Baofeng ham radio, or a Yaesu radio, whatever, a radio. Preferably one that's not grid connected, because there is a possibility, not a probability, a possibility that in a pandemic situation, the economy suffers so hardcore that the lights stop working or they don't work all the time. Probable, I'm gonna say at this point, nah. Likely, nah. Possible, yes. There are a lot of things are possible. It's possible that a meteorite crashes right through this ceiling right now and hits me right here, and that's the end of this video. And then when the first responders find me, they somehow figure out how to stop this video and upload it so you can watch it. That's possible. Very low probability. Okay. Diapers. Need I say more? By the way, diapers don't burn. So if you're going to burn your trash, yeah, diapers don't burn. So either get cloth diapers and getting back to water and sanitation, or get really good at digging holes and bury all your diapers in holes. And maybe some intrepid explorer will find them millennia from now and figure that an advanced civilization lived here because they found this pile of fermented Huggies. Toilet paper, as already discussed. You're going to need to eat for 3 months. You're going to need to poo for 3 months. So how are you going to do that? Feminine hygiene. Not an issue for me, but for 49% of Earth, or is it 51% of Earth? Roughly half of Earth, it's going to be a problem for. So can you go 90 days, a year, 2 years without buying, your Pearl Girl tampon pad things or whatever you do down there with that stuff? You got enough of it? Pet food and pet litter. If you're a cat person, do you have a place for your obnoxious, vile beasts to pee and poo? Do you have something to feed them? So forth and so on. Trash bags. Trash bags are useful for lots of reasons. The predominant issue being that they hold trash. And you will be producing trash because you will still be consuming things just inside of your house, not outside of your house. A flashlight. No explanation needed. Batteries. No explanation needed. A mechanical can opener, because if the grid goes out, you get your little P38. Do I even have one on here? Bro, prep so hard. Who preps the hardest? Bear preps the hardest. That's right. Mechanical can openers for the win. Cash. Maybe you have to pay a utility bill. You have to pay somebody, or you're gonna go ahead and buy that round bale today to put in the front field to feed your goats for however long, because we're not going to town after that, but you can't get any money out of the ATM. A little bit of cash goes a long way. If you have people, husband, wife, children, mother, whatever, that have special needs in your home, whatever their special needs are, you need to identify what it is that you use on the regular to address those special needs and then forecast that forward. If we typically use 4 of these per month to meet Bear's special needs of being addicted to, these look like those ice cream sandwiches, you know? Anyway, yeah, see, I am actually brain damaged. But if I usually use 4 of these per month and we're going to stay in situ, we're not going to leave for 3 months. Guess what? That means we need 12 of these. Go get 12 of these. Right? So identify and then stockpile. Entertainment. We're going to find out just how much you really like your family. Board games, cards, magazines, books are big in my house, very big in my house. Arts and crafts, so forth and so on. Vitamins, another one, just kind of threw that on there as a whatever, vitamins, right? Because, you know, I want to look good after the end of this pandemic. When I walk out back in the world again, I want people to go, that guy looks healthy, man. Like, yeah, that's right. Centrum, baby, Centrum. All right. Now, getting into this. And I realize we're 18 minutes deep, and there's probably a bunch of people who are pissy by now. They're like, this is not what I wanted. I wanted a checklist, step by step, about how I am going to survive the Wuhan coronavirus outbreak. You're getting one if you're paying attention. It's just not the one you wanted. Because what you want to hear is bust out your hazmat suit, put it on, hook up the hose from your rebreather, and then grab your 134 minigun and just stand around and look for movement. That's not what you're going to get here, okay? No fear-mongering, no doomer porn, just normal-ish people trying to perpetuate normalcy for the people that we love. That's what we do here. If you want to get scared crapless and be spoon-fed a bunch of horse pucky, there's other channels you can go to. Be prepared to stay at home. That's what all of this means. So there's implications beyond, hey, we're here now. As I said, hand sanitizers, disinfectants, and masks. I would stock up on that stuff if you can. I know it's hard to get N95 masks. Somebody said in the comments, Bear, I don't know why you bought N95 masks. You should have got N100 masks, and you should have got the P blah, blah, blah masks. You know, man, I bought them because I own a first aid company, and I could, and so I bought them. A mask is better than no mask, so there's that. If we have a severe pandemic, we may have to ask the question of, who are we going to save? You know, if we got, I don't know, if Bob is slowly dying because his leg is turning gangrenous from because he got gored by a wild boar on the hunting party, and Sally is more or less healthy, and we've only got one vaccine, who's going to get the vaccine, Bob or Sally? Bob, love you, man, but your leg is probably going to kill you anyway. That sucks. So Sally's going to get the vaccine, and Bob, let's talk about what we can do to make your last moments here on earth the most special as possible. And if the Father brings you out of this, all praise to the Most High. And if he doesn't, we will put you underneath that oak tree over there. Cool? Cool. Okay. Who to save? Because we may have to ration meds and materials. Okay? So that's a conversation worth having. Hey, if this thing gets really, really bad, who gets treatment, right? What's our triage protocol here? Who gets what when? Healthcare professionals can become overwhelmed. We're seeing this. Are we seeing this, or is this propaganda? I don't know. But there are reports of this in mainland China. The healthcare system is like, bro, we can't help you, turning people away. Because of that, avoid public areas. Stay at home. And so, like, I'll give you a prime example of this. My kids were healthy as freaking horses, as was my entire household, when they were little itty bitty. The moment they started going to kindergarten, everybody in the house started getting sick. And now, because they go to public schools once per year, and they're great public schools, by the way, because public schools in Oklahoma are not public schools in Oakland. But I digress. But the moment they started going to public schools, it's now once a year. We're all just kind of sitting around waiting to see what kind of flu or cold we get this year, because it's awful people-y out there in the real world. So stay at home. And we have had the discussion as a family that if coronavirus gets in any county, if there's a confirmed case in any county adjacent to our county or in our county itself, we're staying home until this thing runs its course. If it's 3 months, copy. If it's a year and 3 months, copy. Y'all are going to get really bored. I'm going to have so much time on my hands, I'm just going to live stream 24/7. Bear pees off the deck. Bear digs a hole. Bear shoots chickens. Oh, right, he's bad at that. Homie shoots chickens, right? Stay at home. Avoid public areas. Work. Can you work remotely? That might be the time to have that conversation. If you are somebody who has the type of job where you can work remotely, I mean, truck drivers are going to have a hard time working remotely. There's a lot of, carpentry, skilled trades, going to have a hard time working remotely. But now's the time to have that conversation with your employer. Got the hiccups. Hold on, gotta hydrate. Pinky up. Work. Talk to work. Hey boss, I know, it could be nothing, but what if it's not? How are we going to run this wood shop when half of our people are out with coronavirus and the other half of our people are afraid of contracting coronavirus? That could be an issue. We should probably talk to our suppliers and push that shipment of plywood coming in. We should also contact the 3 project managers on these 3 different jobs and let them, hey, no, we're not probably going to not have your cabinets, furniture, custom table, whatever that you ordered next Tuesday, because my strength is at 50% of my staff. So yeah, worth having that conversation now. And then obviously that is just a small illustration of the potential economic ramifications of a widespread pandemic. But have that conversation. School, as I said, we're not going to school. School is where germs come from. I have learned this. School is where germs come from. Shopping. We're not going shopping, remember? Because we already bought all of this stuff. We're not going shopping. So do all your shopping now. If you're really concerned about Wuhan coronavirus, do all your shopping now. This is a great test, by the way. How prepared are you? What do you actually need to go get from the store? This is a good drill. And church, yeah, forsake not the gathering together. But if someone has an illness, you keep them outside the camp for 7 days and you observe them. And then the priest goes outside the camp. The priest, the rabbi, the head dude goes outside the camp and checks on him once every 7 days and goes, man, you still got the itis. You're going to have to hang out here another 7 days. Or, man, you're itis free. Come on back in. Okay? So, yes, forsake not the gathering together, but don't come in here, hey, Bob, it's good to see you. Oh, by the way, anyway, so I was like, yeah. None of that. If it gets super bad and you have to be evacuated, you need to establish a point of contact and a rally point. Uncle Jim is in charge. He's our point of contact. This is his cell phone number. This is his ham radio frequency. And he's going to be at this position at this time on this day. So everybody needs to be here, meet here with Uncle Jim. And what happens if Uncle Jim can't be there? Then Aunt Sandy is going to be over here at this position at this time on this day with these freaks. And this is her blah, 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 blah. Figure that out. Because if you need to evacuate and or if you get separated during said evacuation, we're talking like widespread active pandemic now, where the National Guard is rolling down the street and a bunch of strikers with Darth Vader helmets on, rounding everybody up, saying, this area is quarantined, you must leave, which is probably the decent makings of a movie, but very probably not what's going to happen in the United States. But lastly, what do you do to stave off a severe pandemic besides stay at home? This is going to blow your mind. And I'm not even kidding. I researched the crap out of this. I really did. Spent hours like, all right, there's got to be more than this. So either I'm terrible at researching or this is factual. Stay at home and apply basic sanitation. Wash your hands. Wear masks. Cover your cough. Don't touch your face and then touch everything else. Enact a minor quarantine. If somebody in your family is sick, hey bro, love you. Y'all stay over there. You stay in your room. I'll bring you lunch. Okay, if they're sick, put a mask on. Glove up when you do. Son, it's not that I love you any less, but I don't want what you have. And we are all actively praying over you, and you are going to get better, but I don't want that thing. Okay? And you can go as deep as 6 mil clear plastic and duct tape. If you're really concerned, you can quarantine off a part of the house and go, poof, this is the infected zone. This is the unaffected zone. You can do that. And if it's a severe pandemic, maybe you need to. I'm not telling you that you do. You might think or feel as if you need to. And if that's the case, go for it. But how do you stave off a severe pandemic? Basic sanitation. Avoid public areas. Wash your hands, wear masks, glove up, enact minor quarantine if you need to, cover your cough, don't touch your face, stay at home. This is a great exercise for preppers. If you are really worried about this, I mean really, if it's like you're losing sleep over it, you don't have any fingernails left, okay, copy. Great exercise. What do we do? That's what I know to tell you. That's what I've come up with for myself in my own life. Basic preparedness covers a vast array of potentialities of chaos. Okay? This being just one of them. And I hope that this video was helpful to you. I really do. That's why I made it. If you'd like to support the show, there's a baby bear up here somewhere. Click on him. That'll take you to Patreon. For $1 a month or more, you get 24 exclusive pieces of content minimum per month. Behind the scenes stuff. We answer all your questions one-on-one. It's a blast. I love it. We would not do this without our patrons. So thank you patrons. Thank you for providing the support that we require in order to be able to bring this free content to this platform. We would not and could not do it without you, so thank you. Share this with somebody who's losing their mind over the pandemic. And if you enjoyed this, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Shalom, y'all.